Hi everyone! In my previous video I talked about how much progress you could make on a hypothetical Cherish Ball only living dex. Real quick, I want to say thank you for the huge amount of support that video got, and if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend watching that one after this one. In the time since I published that video, I've been thinking about another, more reasonable living dex challenge, so today I like to present to you the Beast Ball living dex. The premise is simple. Accomplish a living Pokedex in only Beast Balls. Beast Balls, as you may know, were introduced in the Alola games to be specialized for catching Ultra Beasts. Specifically, they differ from normal Pokeballs in that they have a much higher catch rate for Ultra Beasts, and a much lower catch rate for everything else. Additionally, they look really cool. Whether it be because of the added challenge of a rare low catch rate Pokeball, or simply the aesthetics, a Beast Ball living dex is an intriguing challenge. Before I show you what is and is not possible to catch in a Beast Ball, I'll highlight some strategies. The first strategy is ball availability. In more recent games, Beast Balls are super rare, being only available as expensive Dynite ore purchases or in the Pokeball Lotto. But in Gen 7, you could get an unlimited amount pretty easily. In Sun and Moon, NPCs will give you more for free if you have none in your bag, and in Ultra Sun and Moon you can simply buy them from Aether Paradise for 1,000 Pokédollars each. So if you were to attempt this challenge, you'd want to do as much as possible in the Gen 7 games, since Beast Balls are vastly more accessible there. The next strategy is Pokeball breeding. If you didn't know, from Gen 6 onwards, it's possible for a bred Pokemon to inherit the Pokeball of its parent. This does not work for Cherish or Master Balls, which is why I didn't mention it in the last video, but it does work for Beast Balls. The mechanics have some nuance between male and female parents, but for our purposes, you can simply take any Pokemon in a Beast Ball, breed it with a Ditto, and the offspring will always be in a Beast Ball. This is great for getting living dex entries for Gen 8 and 9 families, since the Beast Ball is so rare in those games. Strategy 3 deals with actually catching Pokemon. As I mentioned, it's very difficult to catch non-Ultra Beast Pokemon with a Beast Ball, but there's a way around this for many Pokemon, and that is to catch them in raids or Dynamax adventures. In both Gen 8 and 9, if you win a raid, you will have a guaranteed catch on the raid boss regardless of which ball you throw. So by doing raids, you can ensure Pokemon won't break out and cause you issues when you're trying to capture them. So now we are ready to see the Beast Ball living dex. Unlike the Cherish Ball living dex, it is possible to catch the vast majority of Pokemon in Beast Balls, so instead of showing you what can be caught in a Beast Ball, I'll show you what cannot be caught. Additionally, this list does take into account all regional forms. In my last video, I didn't mention regional forms because they can get complicated, but because regional forms started in Gen 7, we can easily catch or breed most of them. Also, I should mention that all the data I used for this comes from the Cerebi lowest Pokeball level database, which is super useful. Without further ado, here it is. Here we can see all the Pokemon that are unobtainable in Beast Balls. In general, we can see most mythical Pokemon are here, in addition to some weird non-breeding lines like Unknown and Type Null, the Gimmighoul form that's exclusive to Go, some event-exclusive forms, and some rather uninteresting normal Pokemon lines from Gen 3, 4, and 5. All in all, it is currently possible to catch 965 out of 1,025 Pokemon species in Beast Balls, which is much more than the 318 species obtainable in Cherish Balls that we discussed last time. To close out the video, I want to highlight some interesting and challenging entries in the Beast Ball living dex. First up is Poipole. In both Generations 7 and 8, Poipole has been a gift Pokemon and was unable to be caught in the wild and could not be bred. In Alola, the gift Poipole came in a Pokeball, which is unhelpful for this challenge. But interestingly, the gift Poipole you get in the Crown Tundra DLC of Gen 8 comes in a Beast Ball. So, in order to make a Beast Ball living dex, you need to use the Generation 8 Poipole. The next interesting case is Shedinja. When Nincada evolves into Ninjask, if there's an open slot in the player's party, the player will also receive a Shedinja. In every game after Generation 3, the Shedinja received will be in a standard Pokeball, which is an issue for this challenge since we want one in a beast ball. Fortunately, there is a solution. In some raid dens in Sword and Shield, it is possible to encounter Shedinja in a raid, at which point you can catch it in any ball you like. So, for the Beast Ball living decks, a raid Shedinja is your only option. The third interesting case is Mythicals. In the Beast Ball living decks graphic, we can see that most Mythicals are currently unavailable in Beast Balls. But there are two exceptions. Keldeo and Meloetta can be battled in the DLC of Gen 8 and Gen 9 respectively, and as such these two are the only two Mythicals that can be acquired in Beast Balls. The last interesting case involves Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. At present, these two Pokemon have only been made available in 2 limited time raid events. During those raid events, you could catch them in Beast Balls, but if you were to start this challenge now and didn't already have them, you're out of luck. Hopefully, Nintendo adds a way to consistently encounter these Pokemon down the line, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, that'll do it for the Beast Ball Living Pokedex. All in all, I was surprised by just how many Pokemon you can get in Beast Balls, since in general the Beast Ball is quite rare itself. If you've watched this far, I think it's fair to say you like my content, so please consider liking and subscribing. Also, leave a comment of your favorite Beast Ball Pokemon that you've caught. Thanks so much, until next time.